It's a typical day. You're waiting for the elevator, just standing there, and you reach for your phone. You check your notifications, scroll through your feed, just killing a few seconds, right? But then you're in the elevator. Your phone's still in your hand. You're texting while walking, you check it again before sitting down at your desk, again while in line for coffee, and once more just because. But do you ever feel like you're not the one in control? Like your phone is no longer just a tool, but something you can't let go of? We all think we're making these choices on our own, yet somehow we end up on autopilot, glued to our screens without really knowing why. This is the new normal. Most people spend more time on their phones each day than they realize, and it's no coincidence. We pick them up an average of 96 times per day, some people even more. The apps, the notifications, the endless feeds, they're all designed to keep us scrolling, tapping, and watching for just a little bit longer. And here's the twist. It's not our lack of willpower. It's by design. The truth is, the tech companies have mastered the art of grabbing and keeping our attention. They know exactly how to play with our brains, our impulses, and even our emotions. So what if I told you your phone has learned how to keep you coming back again and again, and every day you're letting it win? The science of digital addiction, here's how it works. Every time we get a notification, it triggers a small release of dopamine, a feel-good chemical in our brain. It's the same thing that happens when we eat our favorite food or hear something nice about ourselves. But on our phones, it's unpredictable. That little dopamine hit, it's there sometimes, but not every time. It's like a slot machine. Really, random rewards that keep us hooked because we never know when the next little prize might come. And then there's the scroll. Endless scrolling, no end in sight. Most social media platforms use infinite scroll, which makes sure there's always something new to see. You're always one post away from the next interesting thing, but that next post just keeps coming. And when does it stop? Only when we do. Or when we notice we've spent way too much. Time lost in this virtual maze. What's the cost? But what's the cost of all this? Sure, a few minutes here and there might seem harmless. But let's be real, how many times have you lost an hour or more? Just scrolling, maybe you planned to watch one short video, but you ended up going down a rabbit hole for 2 hours. It's not just time either. Studies are showing real impacts on our mental health, more anxiety, higher levels of loneliness, constant distractions, and relationships. You may have noticed that even when you're with people, the phone still feels like it's right there between you. We're together, but are we really present? Or are we just scrolling side by side, miles apart? Why it's hard to quit? FOMO and social validation. One reason it's so hard to stop is the fear of missing out. FOMO. What if something important happens? What if there's news or an update that everyone else knows, but you don't? Our need to stay in the loop keeps us tied to our devices. And social validation, that like button is a powerful thing. We've become conditioned to seek approval online, sometimes even more than in real life. And all of this, every like, every notification, every follow, it's designed to keep us wanting more. Tech companies know that. As long as we feel connected to what's happening online, we'll keep coming back, small steps to regain control. But there's good news. It doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to throw your phone out or delete every app. The goal isn't to abandon technology, but to regain control over it. So where do we start? First, try this. Turn off notifications for non-essential apps. The constant pings pull your attention away, even if it's just for a second. Imagine the difference if you weren't interrupted every time a new email or notification pops up. Next, set small limits for yourself. Give yourself 15-minute windows for scrolling. Instead of hours, use apps that track your screen time, like Apple's Screen Time, or Digital Wellbeing on Android. When you see the numbers, it's a powerful reminder of how much time goes into that little screen. And finally, try a phone-free hour each day. During meals before bed, maybe even the first hour after you wake up. Allow yourself the space to just be present without the constant pull of the digital world. The call to action, taking control of your life again. The truth is we've given up more than we realize. Our time, our focus, and even parts of our identity, all being filtered through a device that wasn't even in our lives 15 years ago. So ask yourself, are you in control of your phone, or is it controlling you? Take back your time, take back your focus. Rediscover life outside the screen, because life is happening right now in front of you in real time. Don't let a device decide what's worth seeing, or steal hours you'll never get back. You're not meant to live through a screen. So put your phone down, lift your head up, and just live.